I thought competing again would be impossible.
Hi there, welcome to Be Well Philly Fest. My name is Asher. I'm a personal trainer here in Philly, and my business is called Nonnormative Body Club. My goal is to create spaces for all of us whose bodies and identities rebel against normative definitions of health and beauty. Today, we're going to be doing a body weight circuit. We're going to focus on cardio and muscular endurance, and it's called a body weight circuit because we don't need much more than our body to do it. One piece of equipment that I will ask you to get is a big towel. It could be a bath towel, a beach towel, whatever. And then also you might want, oops, wrong shoulder, a chair. Just a very sturdy chair that's not going to go anywhere when you put your weight on it. Some things to note about what to expect. We will be coming to standing and also getting down onto the ground for this workout today. So if that's not something that works for you in your body, doesn't work for you today, then this is probably not a good fit for you. Otherwise, this class is beginner friendly, and I will try to give options so that everyone can choose um, options that work best for your body. And know throughout the workout that you're in charge. You're in charge of your workout. So if you don't like any of the options I'm giving you, if you're feeling pain doing any of these exercises, if you're feeling like really fatigued or exhausted and you just need to take a break, just rest. Rest when you need to rest, hydrate when you need to hydrate, even if we're in the middle of an exercise interval. I really encourage you to listen to your body, because it's not gonna help anything to just push through. Um, so I want to give you a sense of what to expect in the format. We're going to start with just a few minutes of warming up, moving through some dynamic stretches. Then we're going to move into the circuit. We've got 6 different exercises in the circuit today. Each exercise we're going to do for 30 seconds. We'll take a bit of a break before moving on to the next exercise. And then at the end of the 6 exercises, we'll take a full minute to hydrate, chill out, and if you wind up needing more than a minute, just take it. Again, you're in charge of your workout, you're in your own space, and I hope you carry that sense of being in charge of your workout to any kind of group fitness class in person or not, live or recorded, because really you know what's going to be best for your body. Um, so once we complete the circuit a few times, we're going to do shorter, high intensity interval piece. That's just going to last a few minutes, and then we're going to come to cool down. Of course, if you need to cool down before we get to that section, go ahead and cool down whenever you need to, and we'll just meet you there. So once you're standing, go ahead and plant your feet on the ground. Bring your fists down so you're like punching into the floor. So your arms are pulling your shoulders down. And then go ahead and come into some neck circles. You can think about breathing in through your nose as you come up, breathing out through your mouth as you come down. Making these circles gently. We don't want to bring our head too far back. So you can think about stretching your head up more than back. Go ahead and switch directions here. Just taking this time as we're warming up to just notice what's going on in your body. I know right now a lot of us spend a lot of time on the internet where our bodies don't always exist or we kind of forget they exist. So yeah, let's just take some time to remember our bodies. Notice what they're telling us, notice what they're needing. From here, go ahead and bring your hands. You can either put them on the back of your head, or if you're not able to reach the back of your head with your hands, or when you reach it, your head has to come forward, go ahead and bring your hands to the side of your head instead. And from here, you can think about bringing your shoulders back, elbows back, and then bringing your elbows together, just alternating between these two positions. Taking your time here, feeling that stretch in your upper back as your elbows come together, feeling your chest open up as your elbows come apart. Nicely done. Go ahead and keep that going. Couple more times in each direction. Awesome. And you can drop your hands. We're going to come to some shoulder circles. So think about bringing your shoulders all the way up to your ears, and then bring them forward, bring them down and back, and go ahead and make that into a more fluid movement. Really exaggerating, taking your shoulders through their full range of motion here. If you're experiencing pain through this, try not to go through the range of motion that gives you pain. Just explore the pain-free range of motion for all of these stretches. And go ahead and reverse directions here. Bring your shoulders up, back, down, and forward. Awesome. Nicely done. And from here, you can bring your feet a little farther apart. Maybe they're shoulder width apart, maybe they're a little wider. And you're going to just swing your arms from one side to the other. Thinking about one arm coming in front as the other goes in back. Loose shoulders, loose elbows, adding a little bend in your knee as you come to each side. Letting your body feel that twist. And a couple more times in each direction. Awesome. And from here, go ahead and bring your arms all the way out. Bring them all the way in. This time as you bring them out, bring your palms back. And in again, alternating which arm comes on top. And just letting momentum carry your arms back and forth. Again, finding that stretch in your chest as your arms come back, finding a little stretch in your back as your arms come forward. Nicely done. And you can slow that to a pause, bring your hands to your hips. From here, I want you to think about making really big hip circles. So bringing your hips forward, to the right side, to the back, the left side, and forward again. Then go ahead and make that into a more fluid movement. And try to focus on how your weight is shifting in your feet as your hips are moving. Again, using this time to just bring yourself into your body. We want to really be checked in so we notice when our body's feeling good, when our body needs a break or a change. Go ahead and reverse direction. Awesome. And a few more in this direction. And pause. Go ahead and bring your legs out even wider. Bring your arms out wide. From here, pull your hips back. Bring one hand to the opposite foot. It's okay if it doesn't touch your foot. We just want to bring it towards the foot. Feeling a stretch in the back of your legs. You might feel a stretch in your hips or your torso. And one more in each direction. And then we're going to bring our feet in to about hips distance apart. Go ahead and come into a march. Bringing one knee up, opposite arm, bringing your knee up as high as you can here. Nice. Couple more of these. And go ahead and cross your knee towards your elbow. They don't have to touch. We're just aiming them towards one another. See if you can feel your abs engaging as you do that. Feel your crunch. Awesome. And from there, go ahead and take your left leg, bring it behind your back, and try to bring it towards your right hand. If they touch each other, awesome. If they don't touch each other, that's fine. We're just reaching one towards the other one. If this feels hard in terms of coordination, that's good. We want to be challenging our body, challenging our brains, waking up all those neuromuscular connections. We don't do a lot of work behind our body. We wind up doing a lot of things in front of us. Let's take this time to focus on this motion behind our backs. And one more on each side. Awesome. We're going to come to something very similar to a jumping jack. So our arms are both going to come up. One leg's going to come out and tap. Other leg out and tap, just coming back and forth here. Nicely done. Couple more on each side. Awesome. We're going to come back into the march. This time, I want you to take up the intensity a little bit. You can march faster. You can think about jogging with high knees, whatever works best for your body right now. Then we're going to bring our feet behind us, kicking up as high as we can. This time, opposite arm is moving forward instead of back to touch your feet. If you want to jog this one out, you can. Or you can keep just kicking up quickly. Awesome. Lastly, we're going to come back to those jumping jacks. You can take it quicker. You can also hop your feet out as your arms come up. Whichever version's feeling good for you today. 4 more. And pause. All right, so we're going to come through the circuit. This first time through, we're going to do one layer of the exercises. Next time through, I'll add some more options in case you want to change it up. So the first exercise, you're going to need your towel. You can come to standing for this exercise, or you can stay standing for this exercise in an athletic position, meaning feet hip to shoulder distance apart, knees a little bent, abs engaged by bringing your belly button towards your spine, so you have a really stable base to work from. You can also come to seated here, which means you don't have to do quite as much work to keep your base stable. Either way, I want you to make that towel as big as you can, as wide as you can, and put your palm on either side. I want you to squeeze hard and notice when you're squeezing how those muscles on the inside of your armpit, your pecs, activate. And I want you to continue squeezing here as you push out and bring it back. Squeezing the whole way, taking it nice and slow. We're going to go for 30 seconds, so go ahead and keep that going. The harder you squeeze, the more intense it's going to be. So know you're controlling the intensity when we're using this towel. 20 more seconds here. Final 15. You might be standing, that works too. Just making sure that your back is staying straight. You're not overly curving your spine, your low back. Go ahead and pause. All right, we're going to take that same towel. This time, we're going to make it really long and thin. So once it's nice and long, I want you to think about taking an overhand grip. You can think about your hands being a little bit wider than your shoulders here. And I want you to just pull it apart. Notice how your back muscles, your upper back muscles engage as you pull it apart. And from here, we're just going to reach up as we're pulling it apart, keeping our shoulders down away from our ears, extending our arms, and then come back down. Again, you can either be in that athletic position here, standing, or you can take a seat. So go ahead and keep that going for 30 seconds. Notice where your shoulders are at. I want you to be staying engaged, continuing to pull this towel apart without letting your shoulders creep up to your ears at the top. So 15 more seconds here. Awesome. And we've got just 5 more seconds. And pause. All right, you can let go of the towel for now. We're going to come to a cardio exercise called quick feet. What I want you to do is think about coming onto the balls of your feet so your heels are lifted here. I want you to tap down as many times as you can in the 30 seconds. So your feet are coming up and down really, really fast. You choose the intensity. Go ahead and begin. Think about moving your arms. The more you move your arms, the more it's going to challenge your heart. You can do whatever you want with your arms. You can also come from side to side. You can come from front to back. We've got 20 seconds left. You can stay in one place. You can spell your name. So the whole goal here is just tapping down as many times as you can. 10 more seconds here. And 5, 3, 2, 1, and pause. Nicely done. All right, so we're going to come down to the ground. If you have a soft surface like a mat, you might want to use it. A carpet, a rug, anything like that can be nice too. But you can also do it on a hard floor. And if you want ever something for under your knees while you're just getting into position, you can put your towel under your knees. Right now we're gonna go through 2 different exercises. I want you to choose the one that's right for you. So one is starting from all fours, tucking your toes under, hands under your shoulders, knees under your hips. From here, thinking about bringing your belly button towards your spine, making sure your abs are super engaged, and then pushing through your fingers and your toes to bring your knees just barely off the ground. So you might not even be able to see that there's a little bit of room beneath my knees. So that's option number 1. That's a box plank. Option number 2 is actually just going to be an upside down box plank. So we're going to come onto our backs. If you're not quite sure whether your abs are engaged, I would recommend this one because you'll get a little more feedback here on your back. So you can bring your arms up so your hands are directly above your shoulders, knees above your hips. Think about, again, bringing your belly button towards your spine. You might also think about bringing like your belt buckle or your pelvis up towards your chest so that you feel your low back pressed against the ground. So hold either one of these for 30 seconds. Go ahead and begin. So we've got the box plank or the upside down box plank. Really focus on keeping your abs braced. We've got 20 more seconds. I'm going to come back into the box plank if you want to remember what that one looks like. 15 more seconds. And final 10, 5, and 3, 2, 1, and pause. Nicely done. All right, we're going to come into a bridge. There's a couple ways I'm going to offer to do the bridge. One way is keeping both feet on the ground, toes pointed forward, knees up as you're lying on your back. Think about squeezing your butt to bring your hips up, making a straight line from your shoulders all the way down to your knees. Slowly coming back down, tapping the ground, and then coming up quickly. If you know the bridge already and you want more of a challenge, you can switch to a single leg bridge, so bringing one ankle over the opposite thigh, focusing on doing the work with the leg where the foot is touching the ground. So in this case, my left ankle is on my right thigh. I'm squeezing my right glutes, coming up and slowly coming down, tapping the ground and back up. So we're going to do this for 2 rounds of 30 seconds. If you're doing a single leg bridge, you'll just keep it going. If you have both feet on the, if you're doing a single leg bridge, you'll switch of those 30 seconds. And if you have both feet on the ground, you'll keep it going. So we'll start in 3, 2, 1, and go for it. And I want you to think about what muscles are working here. So I want you to think about your butt muscles, your glutes, back of your thighs, or your hamstrings. Those are muscles that I want you to be using to lift your hips up. If you start to notice your low back getting involved, try to use your abs to protect your low back. We don't want it doing this work. So 3, 2, 1. Keep it going. If you have both legs on the ground, go ahead and switch if you have just one. We're going for another 30 seconds here. So again, if you feel your low back, you can think about bringing your belly button to your spine to protect it, take it out of the picture. You can think about walking your feet a little farther in. We've got 10 more seconds here. And 5, 3, 2, 1, and pause. And the last exercise here is going to be a side shuffle. So I want you to come to the point where you have like at least 6 feet of length, ideally, in the space where you're working and you're on the edge of that spot. And come to like a quarter squat. So thinking about bringing your hips back, bending your knees a little bit, and then just stepping out, together, out, together, out, together, and back. And you can speed this up to a hop, just coming back and forth here. We'll go for 30 seconds. Nicely done. 20 more seconds. Awesome. 10. Just shuffling from side to side. 3, 2, 1, and pause. Go ahead and rest for a minute. Use this opportunity to grab some water. I've got my water here. So next round, we're going to go through more quickly. And like I said, we're also going to add some elements. So just remember to pay attention to what feels right in your body and choose the options that you think are going to be best for you today. So we've got about 30 more seconds here. And we're going to start in 20 seconds. But before those 20 seconds start, before you start, I'm just going to demonstrate for you what we're going to add to this next one. So this next round, we're going to start with that press out again. This time, if you feel comfortable in a body weight squat, you can come into a squat here, squatting down as you're pressing out, remembering to squeeze, remembering to keep your weight evenly distributed throughout your feet, keeping your toes and your heels down, keeping your spine neutral and long. If you're not comfortable with a squat, or if a squat's really new to you, you might try coming to a seat as you push out. So coming down to that chair, tapping down, and coming back up. Or you can just stick to the original press out. So we'll go ahead and begin. So 30 seconds here, doing whichever version you'd like. That sit to stand, maybe you're seated doing this push press. Or sorry, not push press, press out. No matter what, I want you to think about really squeezing, really keeping your chest involved here. We've got 5 more seconds. And pause, nicely done. All right, so next up is the lat pull. We're taking that towel, we're pulling it apart. This time, if you want to add some lower body action, you can add a reverse fly. So thinking about stepping you can add a reverse lunge. So thinking about stepping way back as your arms come up, coming back forward as your arms come down, alternating legs, making sure you're stepping far enough back that this front knee isn't coming in front of your toes and that your torso is staying upright here. So again, reaching up as you go back, pulling it apart, and down as you come up. So again, you can do this one seated, you can do this one while in that athletic stance, or you can add the reverse lunge. We'll start in 3, 2, 1, and go for it. Pulling it apart, feeling your back muscles engage as you pull it apart, making sure your shoulders don't creep up to your ears. If you are doing this reverse lunge, really thinking about your back knee just hovering above the ground, not touching the ground. If it hurts your knees, if you feel it in your joints instead of your muscles, maybe don't go quite so low. And go ahead and pause. We're going to come back to that quick feet. This time, if you want to add an element, I'm going to say up, and you can either jump up or reach up. I'll say down, you can come down, and out, and you can come out. Or you can just totally ignore those instructions and stick to the quick feet we did last time. Let's start in 3, 2, 1, and go. So up, and down, out, out, down, up, out. We've got just 10 more seconds. Down, and up. 3, 2, 1, and pause. Nicely done. All right, moving on to the box plank. You might be doing the box plank upside down, finding your abs by bringing your pelvis up towards your chest, folding your abs to press your low back against the ground. Or you might be doing that box plank, finding your abs that same way. We just don't have the cue of the ground guiding us, pushing through our toes and our hands here. If you want to add to the box plank, you can bring one arm up, twisting to meet it, and then the other. If you want to add even more, you can kick the opposite leg through. If you're doing this, I want you to take it slow and keep control. So we'll go in 3, 2, 1. Go ahead and begin. So if you're trying that sit through, that last thing I showed, try starting with your arm first, and then adding a leg once you've got the movement down, once you find your control here. Trying to return to that box plank each time, 10 more seconds. If the sit through gets too challenging, you can just hang out on the box plank and pause. Nicely done. We're going to come back to the glute bridge. Now, if you tried the single leg glute bridge last time and you're like, yeah, that was cool, but I want more of a challenge, rather than putting your ankle on your opposite thigh, you can extend your leg here. So choose whether you're going to do a glute bridge with both feet on the ground or single leg with your foot on your thigh or leg extended. We'll start in 3, 2, 1, and go for it. So first 30 seconds, sticking to one side if you're doing single side, keeping both hips or keeping both feet on the ground for the second round if you're doing both sides at once. So I'm going to kind of alternate through options myself so you remember what's available. 5 more seconds in this first set. And begin the next set. If you've got both feet on the ground, you can keep it going. Otherwise, switch feet, switch sides, focusing on your glutes and your hamstrings, so your butt and the back of your thighs. 15 more seconds. You can always pause when you need to. And 5, 3, 2, 1, and pause. Nicely done. All right, we've got that side shuffle. We're going to add to it for anyone who wants to add intensity here. So coming back into that quarter squat, shuffling to the side, tapping down, and to the other side, keeping your spine nice and long here. So if you need to curve your spine to tap down, maybe don't tap down. Maybe just keep your hand hovering above the ground. So we'll go in 3, 2, 1, and go for it. We're going to take another rest after this round, after this exercise. 20 more seconds. Nicely done. And 5, 3, 2, 1, and pause. Awesome. Hydrate. Grab some water. Nicely done. We made it through the circuit. We're going to come through the circuit one more time. And we'll pause. We'll cool down. So just 30 more seconds to chill out, drink water. If you find that you're ready to cool down, you can start cooling down, and I'll meet you there after this last time through. We're going to start in 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1, and beginning with that press out, making your towel really big, pushing, keeping your pecs engaged or your chest engaged by pushing hard, adding that squat as you come out if the squat feels good to you. Remembering we want to feel it in our muscles, not in our joints. Notice where you're feeling your squat if you're doing it. 3, 2, 1, and pause. You can shake it off. We're going to come right into that lat pull. So remembering you can be seated here. Overhand grip, hands outside of your shoulders, pulling it apart, keeping your shoulders down as your arms come up, and then back down. Adding the reverse lunge if you'd like to. We'll begin in 3, 2, 1, and go for it. Nicely done. We've got 15 more seconds here. And just 5 more seconds. And pause. All right, done with that. Next is the quick feet. So we'll go in 3, 2, 1, and go for it. So heels up just on the balls of your feet. You can move around. Go ahead and go up and down, out, out, up, down. 15 more seconds. Out and up and down. And 3, 2, 1, and pause. All right, we've got the box plank or the upside down box plank. We want to focus on our abs. We want to focus on control if we're adding that sit through or rotation. Let's start in 3, 2, 1, and begin. So 20 seconds. If you are doing the sit through, I want you to think about doing it with so much control that you could pause at any point in the movement if you needed to. 10 more seconds here. And we've got final 5, 3, 2, 1, and pause. All right, we've got the bridge. 60 seconds of bridges. Both leg or single leg. On your thigh or extended. We'll start in 3, 2, 1, and go for it. Nicely done. Ten more seconds in this first set. 5, 3, 2, 1. Switch if you're doing single leg. Keep it going if you're doing both legs. If you start to notice that your back is really wanting to get involved, it might be that your muscles are just starting to fatigue and it might be time to pause. You can also try just setting your hips down in between reps before coming back up. 10 more seconds. And 5, 3, 2, 1, and pause. Go ahead and come to standing. We're going to come to the side shuffle. This is the last of the circuit. Then we'll be moving on. Let's start in 3, 2, 1, and go for it. So remembering you can tap down if that feels good, or you can stay upright if that's what feels better. You can walk this one out or hop. 15 more seconds. And 10. 3, 2, 1, and pause. All right. Take some rest. We are almost done here. Let's take another minute. We're going to come into one more little bit of exercise before we start cooling down. Again, if you're ready to start cooling down, by all means, go for it. And in this last piece, we're going to do 4 sets of 20 seconds with 10 seconds of rest. I'm going to give you a couple options. We've got an option that is going to be a little more cardio and an option that's going to be a little more strength focused. So both are going to be for the legs, the lower body. Cardio is going to be a squat in and out. So thinking about standing upright with your feet hips distance apart and then hopping out so your legs come to about shoulder width apart and you come down into a squat and back up. So here we are. Option number 2 is a pulse squat. So starting out with your feet shoulder width apart, toes pointed out a little bit, knees following your toes, coming down to a squat that you think you can hold for 20 seconds, and then just pulsing up and down, just a little tiny pulse here, about an inch up and down. It might be down here, it might be up here. So we'll start in 10 and 5, 3, 2, 1. So first round of 20 seconds, go ahead and begin. Remember, you get to choose which of the two you do. You can stick with it the whole time, or you can switch between the two. 5, 3, 2, 1, and pause for 10 seconds. Make sure you rest because 10 seconds goes quick. We'll go in 5, and 3, 2, 1, second round. So just a little pulse here. Remember, you can come to the height that works for you, anywhere from like parallel to the ground to close to standing. We've got 5 more seconds here. 3, 2, 1, and rest halfway through this. We're going to go again in 5 seconds. And 3, 2, 1, and go for it. Either of the two options, or maybe something else you like to do, including resting. 10 more seconds. 5, and 3, 2, 1, and pause. 10 seconds of rest. We've got 20 more seconds of work. Then we're going to slow it down and stretch. Go ahead and begin. Pulse squat. Squat in and out. Maybe something entirely different. Maybe it's a wall sit. Maybe it's a jumping jack. Maybe it's laying on the ground and staring at the ceiling. All of it is welcome. 3, 2, 1, and pause. Awesome job. Go ahead and grab some water if you'd like it. When you're ready, you can come down to the ground. Knees facing the ceiling on your back. Arms out to either side. And you can just let your knees come from one side to the other, looking over your opposite shoulder. Just catch your breath here. Let your nervous system calm down. Just like other exercises, if I'm suggesting stretches that don't work for your body, please don't do them. Keep your knees pointed to the ceiling as you bring your left ankle over to the top of your right thigh. Go ahead and let both of your legs fall to the right as you look over your left shoulder. Trying to take some deep breaths here. Keeping your left shoulder on the ground. You can think about extending your exhale, really cueing your body that it's okay to relax now. And go ahead and switch sides, bringing your ankle to your left thigh, looking over your right shoulder as your legs drop to the left side. Awesome. And go ahead and come up onto all fours here. This is where if you have a hard surface, or if you're like me and you have some tender knees, you might want to use that towel or something else for some knee padding. Coming into all fours here. Go ahead and bring the back of your head and your tailbone up towards the ceiling as your belly button reaches towards the floor, breathing in through your nose, exhaling through your mouth as you look down, reaching the middle of your spine towards the ceiling. And reverse. Go ahead and keep this going at your own pace. As you're looking up, you might try looking from side to side, seeing how that feels. You might bring your hips from side to side at the top. Awesome. Go ahead and bring your spine to neutral. Bring your right foot towards the outside of your right hand. It's okay if it doesn't come all the way up to your right hand. We just want it to come towards it. And think about shifting your weight forward, trying to get a stretch in the back of the right thigh. If your hand is just inside of your right leg, you can think about pushing gently with your right elbow to get a little more of a stretch in the inner thigh. And from here, go ahead and reach your right arm up, getting a nice twist, and back down. You can think about bringing your torso up, bringing your hands off the ground, and just trying to lengthen your spine, keeping your abs engaged as you shift your weight forward to try and find a stretch in the front of the left hip here. You can extend your left arm. You can even lean over to the right side if that feels good. If you're not feeling this stretch, you might think about, again, engaging your abs more and try squeezing the left side of your butt. And go ahead and come back down, bringing your hands down, bringing your right knee back, left foot forward. Again, shifting your weight forward, trying to find that stretch in the back of the left thigh and the hamstrings. And go ahead and reach your left arm up, getting that twist in. Coming back down, bringing your arms up, trying to stretch the front of your right thigh here, the top front of your right thigh. Squeezing your right side of your butt if that helps, finding your abs here, bringing your right arm up and over if that feels good. If it's hard to find your balance in the stretch, you can also use a wall. Awesome. You can go ahead and pause. You can come to seated in a chair. You can come to standing. You can sit on the floor, whatever's feeling good. We're just going to end with some shoulder circles. So first coming forward, just like we did in the beginning. Noticing if you feel any looser now. And we're going to end opening up our chest, bringing our shoulders up and back. Thanks so much for joining today. Again, my name is Asher. My business is called Nonnormative Body Club. You can check out my classes in Philly and on the internet at my website, nonnormativebodyclub.com, or on Instagram. And there is more of Be Well Philly Fest today. You can come back on and check out Be Radiant at 5 p.m. I would also just welcome any communication. You can come find me, let me know if you have feedback, things you'd like to see differently, anything that works for you, or if you just want to say, hey, I always like meeting new people. So yeah, hope you have a good rest of your day. Take good care.
I thought climbing again would be impossible.